building trust with your partner is essential if you want to have a successful relationship. But building trust with an avoidant is quite specific. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 9 steps that I would recommend you to follow if you want to build trust with your partner, whether you're in a relationship with someone avoidant, whether you want to repair a relationship with someone avoidant. It's going to be a very long video, but very detailed, so bear with me and I'll see you after the jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So first of all, why does it matter? Because trust is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. It's a bit of a cliche, you know it already, but it's important because sometimes we lose sight of this. And so building trust with an avoidant requires 3 things: patience, understanding, and a tailored approach. Those 9 steps will help you to have this sort of approach. It's important to understand their needs, their limitations, their perspective, because it's by understanding how they function that you will be able to communicate properly, behave in the right way, and build that trust over time. And so in this video that was supposed to be a course, but I've decided to release it for free, it's basically practical step to foster a deeper and trusting relationship with your partner. The first step is to recognize their need for independence. You have to understand and respect their need for independence. This is why it's so important to know about attachment style. Understand that independence is not a barrier to closeness. A relationship, a secure relationship, is when we are interdependent. So it's not codependency, it's not being fully independent, it's working at developing interdependence. And so when you understand that and you respect their need for independence, you will gradually build trust. You can't expect from day one to have an avoidant to open up, to share their emotions, to be intimate. That comes after time. That comes after a process of understanding that, okay, I can trust this person because they will respect my boundaries, they will respect my need for space and independence. Also understand that independence is a trait of character, but not a response. So if they need time on their own, it's not because of you. Very often I say that to my clients to reassure them. They will behave the same way with someone else. You're not responsible for them wanting to be on their own, for them wanting a bit of space. It's their traits, it's their character, and it's not a response, it's not directed to you. Step number 2 is communication, and communication in openly and honestly. So it's about creating an environment where open communication is encouraged but not forced. So very often you come to a relationship having expectations, assuming that the person you have in front of you is what I call like emotionally fluent, like you are. And you get frustrated because they don't open up, they don't say what they mean, they don't say how they feel, etc., etc. The whole point is starting from you. You create the space, you share things, but you don't try to get something. So it's also about using direct language. Stop saying things where your partner needs to understand between lines. Very often people tell me, he should know this. I've said this and that, he should understand. No. If you mean this, tell them clearly. I feel upset about this. Don't let them try to figure out. Be clear and direct without being confrontational. Understand that you also need to adapt the topic and what you're trying to build up to their comfort level when it comes to emotion. As I said, not everyone is emotionally fluent. As a partner, you can teach them a little bit how to connect, how to speak, how to be clear and disclose some of their vulnerabilities, some of their fears, and so on. So, in a way, it's creating the space, not invading the space. Be a listener more than a speaker. That's actually one of the mistakes people make, is that they feel like, I need to fill that gap, I need to fill that space because they don't speak up. The reason they don't speak up is that, in a way, they feel they can't. They feel that they'll be judged, they'll be mocked, and so on. And it's important for you to be the role model in that sense and be open, honest, clear. Step number 3 is about vulnerability. And again, as I said, it's leading the way. The same way you create that space for communication, you need to lead the way in terms of sharing your own vulnerabilities. When you're avoidant, vulnerability is a weakness. Telling the world my flaws, my insecurities, I will come across as weak. And what you have to show them is that actually vulnerability is how you develop deep connection, is how you as a person is unique. And because I'm aware of your uniqueness, of your flaws, I feel closer to you. I can relate. This is how we build intimacy. But understand that avoidants, they don't know, they haven't been exposed to that. Because either they had a role of being the perfect boy, the perfect girl, and that was how they got the attention, the validation from their parents. And so sharing their vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, is something that goes against their beliefs. So in the context of adult relationship, your role is to just show them the way. And this is how you build trust, and this is how you help someone avoidant to be more sort of comfortable with intimacy. Step number 4 is to respect their boundaries. It's very important in any relationship to respect your partner's boundary. And when it comes to avoidance, it's to respect their emotional and physical boundaries, understanding that they don't have the same comfort level as you have. When they feel that their boundaries are respected, they feel safe, they feel secure. And when they feel secure, they open up, they trust their partner. If you cross them, if you are being invading on their space, if you are trying to get something from them, they will withdraw, they will deactivate. And this is where you get a bit of a challenge dating someone avoidant. Perhaps this is what led your relationship to end. A quick word on boundaries. You also have to set your own boundaries. Understand that, yes, you're watching this video, you're trying to learn about how to adapt, how to understand your partner, but this is a mutual effort. Trust is something that goes both ways. And yes, you have to learn how to be more secure, how to live without that deep need to be reassured, removing the fear of abandonment. But, and it's a big but, the relationship doesn't revolve around them. It's a partnership, right? Equal in the sense of expectation, emotional connection, intimacy. You have every right to expect things from your partner. So maybe by watching this video, you realize that you're fighting the wrong fight. You're trying to rescue a relationship that would never work anywhere. So ask yourself the question, what's the ideal relationship? What do you want? What are the things you accept? What are the things you don't accept? And list out rationally, perhaps use a friend, a confidant, is this person able to meet those needs? Realistically, stop looking at your story with pink lenses. Look at the story, look at the potential of your partner, and see whether that ideal, and of course there's no ideal relationship, but whether this ideal is somehow close to reality or is too far. If it's too far, ask yourself the question whether you're not trying to repair or construct a relationship with the wrong partner. Let me give you a list of realistic boundaries. Effort and engagement. You have every right to expect your partner to be engaged, to make some effort, to want to see you. You have every right to expect that your partner is accountable for their actions, to what they say, to what they do. You have every right to expect that a clear commitment. So I'm not saying you need to expect your partner to ask you to marry you right away, but have clear ideas of what they want, ideas of how they see the future together, how the next 6 months will look like. This is a clear expectation. Another one is about balanced affection. You have every right to want your partner to hug you, not being able to withhold any form of affection, any form of quality time from your partner, if you look at the 5 love languages, and see whether, your partner is able to meet those basic needs. I have listed, because when I made this video, there's like 40 different ones. I have listed more in a guide that is available to download in the description. Have a look. It's a guide, the non-nonsense guide to dating avoidant. Have a look. This video is very complete, but there's even more information on the guide, and I didn't want to overload you with tons of text on a video. There'll be plenty of examples, use case, conversations and things for you to navigate that space. And again, figuring out perhaps that person is not right for you and you just need to stop trying to rescue this relationship. Another element to build trust is to support their growth. And so rather than being defensive, why don't you support their interest? Maybe you hate golf. Maybe you hate that they go golfing on Sunday morning. That's an avoidant hobby. They know they can do their own thing. They don't have to talk a lot. And for half a day, they're away from home. But respecting this and accepting this, and perhaps telling them, prompting them, like, when are you playing golf? Let's organize the weekend in a way so you can play golf. That will pay off. They will realize, okay, hold on, he or she understands my needs. She or he understands that this is something that I need on the weekend to feel balanced, to feel safe. Also, it's an idea indirectly to show them that you don't pressure them, that you don't have any form of resentment for them playing golf on Sunday morning. And I will also challenge you to do the same. If they spend half a day, I'm using golf as an example, but it could be anything else. So if it's about like them spending half a day on Sunday playing golf, so find an activity Saturday morning where you do things on your own, or while they're at the golf, go and do something on your own. It's all about balance. When I say balance, it's because I don't want you to end up in a relationship that I called alone together, where the only thing that you do together is just sleeping in the same bed, watching Netflix in the evening. A good relationship, a successful relationship, is when you nurture time on your own, your me time, and it's very important to nurture those time, accepting that your partner needs to have those me time, and also time together, doing things together, enjoying things together with more emotional investment than just watching Netflix together. Step number 6 is practice patience and understanding. Right now, perhaps you're trying to repair or reconstruct a relationship, and you have to understand that you need, both of you but also them, deconstruct yours of insecurities. If you have an anxious attachment style, you need to develop more secure attachment style. You need to understand how you can overcome your fear of abandonment. You need to develop a sense of independence in the construct, within the relationship. And it's all about consistency. When I help my clients in that phase of recovery, of relationship recovery, I really assess the progress. So I work with my clients, so if they're anxious, I work with them on developing this secure attachment style, on being more effective when they communicate with their ex, but I also assess whether their ex is doing the effort, whether there's a progression. The theory, and it doesn't always work, but that's the only way to repair a relationship with an avoidant, is doing the work. Work at being more secure, because studies have shown that if you're in a relationship with secure, insecure, the relationship satisfaction is the same as secure. So do the work. And if your partner loves you, is willing to change, has the interest in the relationship, they will also do the work with you. Eventually, a little bit later, a little bit down the line, you have to start. There's no other way around, but you have to start the work. But assess whether they are progressing. And in a way, how long it takes, it doesn't really matter. Because the idea is you're building something stable and strong. Understand that years, if you're 30, it's 30 years of programming to change. 30 years of seeing a relationship with an insecure lens. It's the same for them. And so it's going going to take a bit of time for you guys to relearn how to communicate, relearn how to build trust together. Step number 7, and it's about understanding their perspective, and that will help you with being patient, being understanding. When you understand the root cause of their behavior, i.e. their role as a child, how they interacted with their parents, how they perceived affection, intimacy in the context of their family, as soon as you understand how they function, they're not anymore the enemy. You don't see them anymore as someone heartless or distant or cold or aloof. You understand the little child who was in his or her room, self-soothing when he or she was distressed. This is how he or she responds now. And when you understand that, you're building up empathy and you understand what should be your role and how you can be a role model to show them the way. As I said, I've done a guide with all the details about repairing relationship with an avoidant, different steps, different case studies. Again, I don't want to bother you too much with too much text here, so have a look in the description. There's a guide for you to download complete guide. And let me know actually in the comment of this video how you find it, how you find the guide, and if you have any comments, any questions on the guide. In conclusion, you build up trust with an avoidant partner by a deep understanding of their needs, consistent support, right? And respect for independence and boundaries. And actually, these 3 elements are true regardless of the attachment style. What you have to understand is you have to adapt. If you guys broke up in the past, if you want to get back together, something needs to change. There's no other way around. Your ex will never take you back. You will never have a successful relationship if you guys broke up in the past. So something needs to change and you need to adapt. It has to start with you. Then they will follow. They will follow because if they don't, you have to make the conscious decision not to pursue this relationship. And again, when I work with my clients one-to-one, sometimes I just tell them like, okay, let's have an intervention together. Is it working for you? Are you where you want to be? Is it the relationship that you wanted, that you deserve? And if you can't answer clearly this, you're wasting your time. So, in a way, I shouldn't say that. I don't really care if you get back with your ex. What I care is that you use this breakup or the difficulty that you have in your relationship to work on your attachment style, to work on your insecurities. Whether you get back with your ex or not also depends on your ex. But whether you develop a more secure attachment style, whether you're less anxious, that depends solely on you. And you can do this work. And that's actually what I'm passionate about, is helping people developing that secure attachment style. Getting back together, it's just one of the byproducts of being more secure. And so be honest with yourself, checking whether this person is partner material or not. I can't make the decision. I can only show you the way. If you have any other questions, and if you want to speak with me, have a look in the description. There are a few links to book a call with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.